ES Audio.
Hello, I'm Mark Blunden, and this is the Evening Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, what's at the centre of Mars? And no, it's not caramel. But first, London's Metropolitan Police is being slammed by human rights campaigners for what's understood to be Britain's biggest ever deployment of facial recognition camera vans at the coronation of King Charles III. The Met says it intends to use the controversial face-scanning software to match a list of suspects wanted for alleged crimes, as well as terrorists seeking to mingle among the crowds of hundreds of thousands of well-wishers.
Facial recognition is a dystopian tool that violates our rights and threatens our liberty. We all have the right to go about our lives without being surveilled and monitored, but this weekend everyone who attends the King's coronation is at risk of having their faces scanned by this oppressive technology.
That's Emmanuelle Andrews, Policy and Campaigns Manager at Liberty, who says there's also major unresolved issues over accuracy, bias and data sharing.
We know that the police deploy it in discriminatory ways. So from the Met's very first trials at Notting Hill Carnival, predominantly black celebration, to Lancashire Police passing details of disabled campaigners attending an anti-fracking protest, to the Department for Work and Pensions, and they were then subsequently questioned about their disability claims and suspected of fraud. It affects all of us, but particularly marginalised communities.
But Liberty's actually been struggling to extract specifics about the software from the Met, who they say have been delaying a freedom of information response.
We've had an FOI in with the Metropolitan Police since February, which they have been delayed in responding to. The fact that they have been shrouding their use of this technology at the coronation in secrecy is really worrying. You know, they need to be transparent about this in order for us to be able to hold them to account.
Next, staying with the coronation, that's the soundtrack to an original NFT being released by superstar crypto artist Trevor Jones, completely free to mark the coronation of King Charles III. He's teamed up with Evening Standard to release the work, which became available this morning.
The first time this happened was with my Bitcoin Angel open edition drop in, like I said, February 2021. There was 4,158 minted in a 7-minute period. And this will be the same thing, I'm certain, with the Oath. I have no idea how many people will mint one of these for free, but it's going to be a lot.
The piece, titled The Oath, can be minted on the Nifty Gateway platform with just an email address, but it's only available until the 7th of May. Trevor's work has sold for millions of dollars, with fans including the rapper Ice Cube and the Succession actor Brian Cox. Geologists have confirmed what lies beneath the surface of Mars by using NASA's InSight lander to measure how seismic waves impact its core. Researchers at the University of Maryland in the US reveal a totally liquid core made mostly of iron alloy, plus unusually high amounts of sulfur and oxygen. They used known data about the chemical makeup beneath the surface and then tracked the aftermath of 2 massive quakes on the Red Planet to calculate the signature readings of the compounds. Staying with space, and scientists at America's MIT, Harvard University and Caltech have observed a star swallowing a planet for the first time. The event appears to have taken place in our own galaxy, some 12,000 light-years away, near the Eagle-like constellation Aquila. Astronomers spotted an outburst from a star that became more than 100 times brighter over just 10 days before quickly fading away. According to the research published in Nature, this white-hot flash was followed by a colder, longer-lasting signal. A Finnish newspaper is getting around Russian censorship over the war in Ukraine by hiding away news reports in a video game. Helsingin Sanomat is among independent foreign media outlets blocked in Russia, but has managed to get crucial independent reports into the country via the first-person shooter Counter-Strike. Players can create their own custom maps, and the papers used the feature to help direct players to a location where it's published war correspondents reporting from Ukraine. Let's go to the ads. Stay there for more news from the world of tech and science, plus why the changing seasonal clocks make you feel exhausted, and it's not what you think. Why not hit follow in the meantime? Welcome back. Scientists at Germany's Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology have extracted ancient DNA to identify the owner of a 20,000-year-old pendant made from an elk's tooth. DNA present in skin cells and sweat was absorbed by certain types of porous material, including bones, teeth and tusks, when handled by someone thousands of years ago. And the owner of the pendant was believed to be a Stone Age woman related to hunter-gatherers known to have lived in a part of Siberia east of the cave site in the foothills of the Altai Mountains. Researchers used gloves and face masks when extracting and handling the find to avoid contamination with modern DNA. And finally, a study has revealed exactly why in middle age changing clocks can lead you to tossing and turning for a few nights afterwards. Researchers at McGill University in Canada asked more than 30,000 people aged 45 to 85 about their sleeping habits at 6 different times around when the clocks changed. They found sleeping problems actually tend to happen after the clocks go back and we gain an hour rather than when the clocks go forwards. But why? Researchers believe it's all to do with the body clock struggling to reset, as usually more daylight signals that we should be awake. You're up to date. Come back at 4 p.m. for the Leader podcast, bringing you the latest news, interviews and analysis from the Evening Standard here in London. We'll be back with a special edition tomorrow at 1 p.m. See you then.